You think you've seen heartbreak before? Think again. Because what just happened in that courtroom wasn't just a divorce. It was like watching someone's betrayal get exposed in front of millions of people watching around the world. The moment Tamela Mann walked into the courtroom with tears in her eyes, but standing strong and proud. The whole room changed. Cameras started rolling, reporters started whispering, and when the judge made the divorce official, everyone got quiet. But Tamela didn't stay quiet. She grabbed the courtroom microphone and said something so honest and harsh that it shocked everyone. You didn't just steal my husband, you tried to destroy me too. But I'm still here, and you two are finished. Breaking news. Tamela Mann destroys David in court. Divorce is final after Dr. Jackie affair. David Mann, who used to be America's favorite gospel family man, sat there frozen and pale as a ghost. He was exposed not just as a cheating husband, but as someone who lies and hides behind Bible verses and therapy sessions. And Dr. Jackie, the counselor who got way too close to him, she didn't say anything. She didn't need to, because to me, words hit hard like thunder. You smiled at me while you snuck into my marriage like a snake. The internet went crazy. TikTok was flooded. Hashtags went viral. Justice for Tamela. David the liar. Dr. Jackie exposed. What started as a secret affair became public drama for everyone to see. And if you thought the courtroom was the end, oh honey, this was just the beginning. Get ready. The full story is unbelievable. The courthouse was packed with people. Reporters were pushing each other to get good spots. Camera flashes were going off like crazy. You could feel the tension in the air like something was about to explode. Nobody expected Tamela Mann, gospel royalty, to be in the middle of the biggest celebrity courtroom drama of the year. But today, she wasn't just showing up. She was about to end it all. When the double doors opened, everyone got quiet. Tamela walked in. No fancy hair and makeup team, no group of people with her, just heartbreak and anger in her eyes. She didn't need to say anything. Every step she took screamed betrayal, and every reporter in that room knew this wasn't just a divorce hearing. This was payback time. Inside, sitting at the table for people being sued, was David Mann. The same David who used to sing with her, pray with her, and raise kids with her. Now, he sat there cold and distant, not looking at her. Sweating through his suit while his lawyer whispered nervously in his ear. Next to him sat Dr. Jackie. Yes, that Dr. Jackie, the famous therapist, the relationship expert who used to give marriage advice on national TV, now exposed as the other woman. Her perfect image fell apart the moment everyone found out the rumors were true. And today, she would face the woman whose home she destroyed. When the judge finally came in, you could hear a pin drop. The courtroom drama exploded the moment they announced the divorce decision. Divorce is final. The judge said all the money and property would be split, 70-30, with most going to Mrs. Tamela Mann. Full custody of all the young children goes only to the mother. But Tamela wasn't finished. Not even close. She stood up calmly, walked to the podium, and then she let it all out, with a voice shaking, not from fear, but from anger. Tamela looked straight at David and said, "You didn't just cheat on me. You broke our promise, hurt our children. God and you didn't fall in love. You got lustful with a lie, wearing a therapist's mask." The courtroom gasped. Dr. Jackie's lips shook, but she said nothing. She had nothing to say to defend herself. Tamela turned to the judge and reporters next. He told the world I was his queen, but secretly he was giving my crown to a woman who pretends to fix marriages while she destroys them. Click, click, click. Cameras were going wild. A viral moment was happening right then, and Tamela owned it completely. Social media exploded within minutes. Tamela Mann was trending all over the world. Video clips of her calling out David in the middle of the trial got millions of views. Fans and celebrities rushed to support her, while David's reputation fell apart in front of millions. But what broke everyone's heart and made the internet go crazy was what happened next. Tamela reached into her purse and pulled out an old photograph, her and David. Their wedding day, young, smiling, innocent. She held it up and said, "This was us before the lies, before the fame, before Dr. Jackie. I kept this photo hoping you'd remember who you used to be, but now you can have it because that man doesn't exist anymore." She dropped the photo on the floor. The sound of it hitting echoed through the courtroom like a gunshot. David's face turned white as a ghost. Dr. Jackie looked like she wanted to disappear into the bench, and the public lost their minds. TikTokers copied the scene. YouTubers called her queen Tamela. Even Beyoncé's fans showed up in the comments, saying her speech was the most powerful divorce moment since Lemonade. But behind the headlines was a story even darker than anyone imagined. Because here's what the cameras didn't. Show sources close to Tamela said that the affair had been going on for over 2 years, and it didn't start with love notes or romantic dinners. It started in a therapy session. David had suggested they see a marriage counselor. Tamela agreed. She wanted to fix what felt broken. But instead of helping, David used that opportunity to build a secret relationship with the very woman hired to help save their marriage. Dr. Jackie Gedley started texting David privately. Tamela found out months later, but by then, it was too late. Emotional lines had been crossed. Meetings became private lunches, and eventually hotel rooms. Tamela was heartbroken, but she stayed for the kids, for their image, for their faith, until she walked in on them in her own home. What happened next was a mess of betrayal, legal drama, and full-blown PR war. David's team tried to control the story. They said it was a private matter and begged people to be understanding. But Tamela chose truth over image. She filed for divorce publicly and made sure the world heard her side. And today, that decision paid off. As people left the courtroom, Tamela stood on the courthouse steps, surrounded by flashing cameras and screaming fans. She didn't cry. She didn't hide. She held her head high. "I'm not broken," she said. "I'm free." Part 1 ends with the world watching Tamela take back her power, while David and Dr. Jackie face a wave of backlash they never saw coming. But if you think this is over, just wait until you hear what's about to happen next. Because secrets don't stay buried for long. And in this video, it's David's leaked audio confession, Dr. Jackie's medical license investigation, and a mysterious voice message lawyers are getting ready to release that could change everything. The courtroom door slammed shut behind Tamela as she stepped down from the witness stand. But the silence that followed was heavier than any judge's hammer. Mann couldn't even look at her. Dr. Jackie sat just 2 rows back, arms crossed, her eyes moving from the cameras to the crowd like she knew judgment was coming, not just from the court, but from the world. And then it happened. The judge called for a short break, but what followed wasn't a break. It was a breaking. Outside the courtroom, Tamela's oldest daughter, Tia, was caught on a live microphone screaming at David. "You don't just betray Mom, you betrayed all of us. You broke the whole family just to play house with that woman." Security stepped in. Reporters swarmed around. The hallway turned into chaos. TMZ went live instantly. Within minutes, Twitter was exploding with hashtags. Tameladios, David Mann exposed, not my Dr. Jackie. Back inside, Judge Harmon returned, his face serious. He wasn't just watching over a divorce, he was witnessing the collapse of a public empire. And then came the bombshell. The court clerk brought in a hidden audio file submitted just hours before by Tamela's legal team. The judge pressed play, and the entire courtroom leaned in as David's voice echoed through the speakers. The recording was from Dr. Jackie's private office, taken during what was supposed to be a marriage counseling session. But there was no counseling happening. David's voice was calm, too calm. "You know, I can't leave her right now. It'll destroy my reputation. But what we have, Jackie, it's real. You make me feel alive. Tamela doesn't even see me anymore." Gasps went through the courtroom. Tamela didn't move. She already knew this truth. She had lived it. But now the world was hearing it. And Dr. Jackie's eyes got wide as she realized someone, possibly one of her own workers, had leaked the recording. She wasn't just caught anymore, she was trapped. The judge ordered silence, but the emotional storm had already begun. The Mann family, long praised for their faith-based image and wholesome values, was now falling apart on live television, and the worst was still to come. Tamela's lawyer stood and showed the next piece of evidence: financial records, money transfers, secret trips, hotel reservations, all under David's business account, cleverly disguised as work retreats, each one connected to Dr. Jackie's schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, the lawyer said, voice getting louder, this wasn't an affair. This was a planned double life, funded, protected, and lied about for over 2 years. And the cost, Tamela's dignity, her peace, her family. The camera showed David. He looked like a man completely destroyed. Then, in a shocking turn, David stood up. Without being called, he looked at the judge and said, "Your Honor, I need to speak." The judge hesitated. Tamela's lawyers objected, but the judge allowed it. David walked to the front dot. No lawyers, no papers, just him and a microphone. I never am. This wasn't just an affair. This wasn't just betrayal. This was financial fraud, medical malpractice, and cover-up on a level nobody was prepared for. Because the report exposed one thing David had fought tooth and nail to keep hidden. He had authorized payments from the Mann family trust to Dr. Jackie's personal clinic over $300,000 under Tamela's name. Tamela gasped so loud it echoed. She hadn't just been cheated on emotionally, she had been robbed. The courtroom erupted into chaos. Fans inside the gallery screamed. One of Tamela's cousins lunged toward David before being pulled back by security. Reporters outside the courthouse immediately began broadcasting the news. Social media exploded. Mann fraud and Jackie Money trail were trending within minutes. And then Dr. Jackie stood up, her voice calm, but her words deadly. "I never wanted to hurt Tamela, but David promised me a future. He said he'd leave her. He said the money was his to give. I didn't know it was stolen from their family money. Lies or truth, no one knew, but the damage was done." Tamela, now visibly shaking, whispered to her lawyer. A moment later, her legal team pulled a move no one saw coming. They filed a motion to take all of David's money and property, pending a criminal investigation into stealing money and identity fraud. This wasn't just a divorce anymore. This was turning into a federal-level disaster. And yet, even now, David had the nerve to stand and beg. "She was never there for me," he shouted. "Always touring, always performing. I was alone. Jackie made me feel seen, but the judge wasn't having it. You were married, Mr. Mann, and you broke that promise, not just in your heart, but with someone your wife trusted, someone you both prayed with, someone she called her sister." Boom, another stab. Then Tamela stood, her entire body shaking, but her voice clear. "Let me tell y'all something," she said, turning toward the courtroom, the cameras, the world. "I gave that man my youth, my heart, everything, and he threw it away for lust, for power, for lies. He used God's name to do it. But I'm done being quiet. I will not protect someone who betrayed me, my family, and my faith." The crowd clapped, cameras clicked. The judge banged the hammer. But Tamela wasn't done. "I don't want another dime from him. Let the court take whatever they must. But I want my name cleared, and I want every woman watching to know you can rebuild even after a man tries to destroy your spirit." Tears streamed down her face, and even the toughest reporters in the room were visibly shaken. Meanwhile, David sat defeated. No more lies, no more charm, just a man caught in his own web of betrayal. The judge made the divorce final. Right then and there, full custody and financial assets to Tamela. All shared properties taken and redistributed. David's accounts frozen. Dr. Jackie named as a partner in breaking marital trust. Outside, chaos reigned. Fans cried. Protesters held up signs reading "Tamela deserved better" and "Pray for healing." Even gospel radio stations that once celebrated the Manns as the first family of faith were now airing emergency segments on moral collapse and taking responsibility. But the real gut punch came just hours later when a video leaked. Not from court, not from David, from one of Dr. Jackie's former staff members. In it, she tearfully admitted that David and Jackie had been involved for over 3 years and that Jackie was pregnant twice. One pregnancy ended in miscarriage. Other was terminated, she said, because David begged her not to ruin his image. The world stopped. Tamela's fans were furious. Pastors from major churches issued statements distancing themselves from David. Major endorsements gone. Netflix had a planned show featuring the Manns pulled. Gospel music awards where they were to be honored were canceled. But Tamela rose from the ashes. That same night, she went live on Instagram. No makeup, just raw honesty. "I ain't perfect," she said, "but I'm free and God is still good." Millions watched. Millions cried, and within 48 hours, Tamela's live stream became the most viewed gospel-related broadcast in YouTube history. David hasn't posted since. Dr. Jackie, her clinic shut down her medical license under review, and Tamela announced a new album called Unshakable. First single, Lie No More. Tagline, inspired by pain, driven by truth. Within a week, it hit #1 on iTunes, because this wasn't just a story about divorce. It was about a woman who took every betrayal, every secret, every shattered dream, and turned it into power. The courtroom's final scene was just the beginning. Tamela walked out, not broken, but reborn. And the world saw what happens when a woman stands up, speaks truth, and walks away with her crown intact. Because this time, the queen didn't just survive, she won. And just like that, the courtroom. Doors didn't just close on a marriage, they slammed shut on a legacy. Tamela Mann didn't just walk out of court divorced, she walked out reborn. Her tears had dried, her silence had been shattered. And in front of flashing cameras and millions watching online, she claimed her story back. No more lies, no more secrets, no more pretending. David Mann, exposed, destroyed. A man who once sang about faith and family, now a broken echo of his former self. And Dr. Jackie, once seen as a healer of hearts, now public enemy #1 for wrecking someone else's home. Behind closed therapy doors, but this story isn't over because social media hasn't stopped spinning. Hashtags like Tamelastrixback and David is done are trending worldwide. And the people, oh, they're not quiet. They're choosing sides, they're dropping receipts, they're demanding justice, apologies, and answers. So, what happens now? Will David try to spin his version of the truth? Will Dr. Jackie speak out or disappear into silence? And, most importantly, what's next for Tamela? Stick around because this isn't just a divorce, it's payback time. If you thought the courtroom scenes were explosive, wait till you see what's coming next. Exclusive interviews, leaked voicemails, new witness testimony, and a documentary in the works that promises to uncover everything they didn't want the world to know. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your notifications all the way on, because in a world full of betrayal, only one channel brings you the truth, raw, real, and unfiltered. We don't just spill tea, we drown lies in it